Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Claude. I'm a Lansing, Michigan graphic designer and artist, and today I'll be working on the first spread of 2022. This is based on a dream, the very first dream of 2022, which is a tradition in Japanese culture where they try to figure out what the first dream of that year means. Now, I did go from the 31st to the 1st by accident because I don't know how to follow directions. But essentially, the gist of the dream was that there were these people in what could best be described as Soul Reaper outfits from Bleach coming out of a landscape full of packages. And they weren't exactly like Soul Reapers. They wore more browns and grays, not exactly the clean black and white of Bleach. But the thing that kept coming up was that I had a red coat that I would hold up every so often, and it's got that very particular stitching that you see. And each of the Soul Reapers or rather the Soul Reaper-like figures in the background has the sort of the red cloak or cape or what have you around their shoulders. And so I think what that indicates is like everyone has like a project that they want to work on, and they just kind of find themselves distracted by other things, these welcome distractions like anime and packages and that sort of thing. And kind of, coming out of a box and figuring out who you are and what you're doing. So that was something I wanted to capture. One of the things that I noticed about each of these figures was that they each had they each looked like they were rushing headlong into things, like almost as if they were trying to go at each other, but just like couldn't make it because they were on different planes of existence, almost. Now, one of the things that was a learning curve for me was the actual marker work. One of the things I kept saying was, trust the process, trust the damn process, because I had a really hard time doing that during the actual drawing portion. This is very sped up, but the original drawing time was 1 hour and 45 minutes, and for a good chunk of that coloring time, I honestly was not trusting that process, and so it just, I thought it was going to come out looking like crap, and I was very nervous. Now it did end up working out in the end, so I'm glad for that. But one of the things you want to do is, swatch your markers. I did at least make sure to put a buffer behind my pages so that they didn't bleed through to more pages behind besides just the behind of it. So that's good. One of the things you'll notice about the guy in front here is that he's got kind of orangish blondish hair, but he's not. It wasn't Ichigo. It was very close to him, but it was an approximation, much like how dreams are. So I tried to remain true to that. I tried to remain true to the kind of feeling of the composition as well by not using references. Normally I like to use references. I think they're very important. But when it comes to retaining like a dreamlike quality, nothing's really sure. Using references really solidifies your drawing as being set in a real world somewhere. And as somebody who struggles with like schizophrenia, I want that separation to be between the dreaming world and the waking world, because sometimes I just have trouble distinguishing, and it's very helpful to have something to look back on. One of the other things I struggled with, as you can see here, was this olive green that I picked up. When I first picked it up, I thought it was yellow and tan enough that it would pass, but I soon found that it was way too green, and then I did manage to kind of cancel out this too orange of the box here, because that was another thing I struggled with. But again, it's all about trusting the process, and you just got to learn to do that. And one of the things that I was really proud of was the actual flesh tones of the people. um, because I, not having a bunch of tans and browns and stuff, I thought that it was going to turn out really badly. But it turned out okay, and I was able to make all the cardboard boxes look like cardboard boxes, with some brown to save the day, some clever shading, etc. Um, and that olive green was really the bane of the drawing that day, because I was having such a hard time with getting it to shade correctly. Um, and I was really glad that there was um, some actual brown to kind of draw the difference there. But yeah, as you can see, each of the figures in the background has like they have a very kind of natural looking outfit. One of the other big differences in the figures was that they had what looked like very slim boots to me. They didn't wear like the tabby and the sandals, so that was an interesting thing as well. It's kind of like a um, East style meets Western style of figure and storyline. Um, and one of the things that I used was the I used the kind of iris purple for a gray to match with the Prussian blue. I decided that a really dark color, like just plain black, would be too strong with these really like very light colors, and I didn't want it to clash too bad. Um, so that was something I made sure to work out. Um, I was really glad that I found this Old Red. That's what it's called, Old Red, because I was having a hard time finding something to shade that red with. Um, and I really wanted to make sure that it stuck out because it was so important in the original Dream. And I know in Chinese culture where they really celebrate the New Year, red means good luck. So maybe that means something good. I don't know. I would like to think so. I'd like to hope so. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that you'll notice that I don't actually use like actual brand name Copics. I like the ones that I've got. I noticed that a lot of times you can usually get away with using off-brand things. Like the sketchbook is a Michaels Artist's Loft, and I'm not terribly impressed with its work, considering the alcohol markers. But most of the time, you can beat the crap out of these, and they don't give a care. So that's really helpful. But I have like Artist Loft is the one there. I think I have Mingyun. The closest to a brand name I have is Azure, and I've been really pleased with those. I think I have maybe another brand as well. I wasn't sure, but I'm really happy with them for the most part. I feel like I just need more like skin tones and browns. But there's a lot of colors to choose from. I was really happy with most of the blending. I was really happy with the strikingness of it. Wasn't so happy with the bleeding, but that's to be expected. You gotta work with something a little blunter. So I did some kind of cell shading. I had a run where I thought I was gonna use colored pencils because I thought I messed it up, but I'm glad I didn't end up having to use those because, again, the original drawing time was an hour and 45 minutes, which is that's insane to me. So I made sure to pare that down for you guys. And yeah, that's about it. I'm finishing up here, getting all the stuff in. The darker brown of the kimono shirt, along with the lighter brown of the hakama. And I think that's about the end of it. Just some little minor details, like the shading and that sort of thing. Really, with shading, a lot of times you can just fake it as long as you know where things are gonna cast a shadow from, etc. So I find that really helpful in my experience. Um, yeah, thanks so much you guys for watching, and you have a great day, and be sure to like and subscribe if you like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much.